Let's see. Let's focus. Are we on? Are we good? Yeah, we're good. So one of my favorite creators and one that has really been a huge inspiration for this channel, this writing channel, actually has nothing to do with writing. And that's Jazza.
G'day everyone, welcome back to the Jazza chat. This is very cooking show vibe, isn't it? I felt like needle felting.
Jazza's Arty games, Jazza's creativity. Jazza is an art channel that inspires so much and is one that I have watched for years. And that's why I've done 2 different writing challenges from an art channel. And that's what we're gonna do today. Our 3rd writing challenge from Jazza's Arty games. This is by far one of my favorite tools just to get those creative juices flowing and just write for the sake of writing. An exercise that I think we can all do from time to time and remove ourselves from the seriousness of writing for the purpose of a book or the purpose of some kind of publication. Just writing to have a bit of fun. But there is a catch with this one that's gonna make it a little bit different from the first 2 times I have done this. And that's the fact that I am going to make it so much harder on myself. I struggle with limiting the amount of words I use. You may have noticed over the breadth of all these videos that I am a very wordy bastard. So the challenge for me is that for this writing prompt, I am going to limit myself to a mere 500 words. I am going to have to convey everything in the prompts that we get from the Arty games in 500 words and somehow make it make sense. It's like the shortest short story I will have ever written. I think the last times I did this, they were about 2,000 to 4,000 words. That's how long the stories were. I spent days and weeks on them. This I'm hoping to do in a day. But let's get right into it and see what kind of ridiculous setting we're gonna get. A messy garage which has been overrun by local wildlife and features an ice cream cone. I guess it's almost like a Jumanji-esque situation, almost. I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out a lot more when we pick our character. Who's our character for this? A stroppy teenager who is covered in batter riding a bull. Okay, so right off, there's 2 things here. There's 2 things that are like, you know, coming into focus here. First, we have the bull, which makes sense with the overrun by wildlife. I guess if the wildlife just happens to be bulls. But what the hell does stroppy mean? To the dictionary. Okay, so that makes sense. Stroppy, you know, the Jazza's from Australia, British, English. Yep, makes sense. Okay, so stroppy. Stroppy is our teenager. I'm still getting Jumanji vibes, and I don't know. I don't think I want to go that direction though. We're gonna use the magic of editing to get to the point where the story is done. Eric stared at the ice cream cone in his hand. The make good from his parents after their latest fight was dripping over his fingers in the sweltering garage. Because of course it was. He tensed his fist around the cone and threw it, expecting to hear a clang as it hit the garage door, or maybe a splat on the concrete floor. What he didn't expect to hear was a cluck, and then another, and another. Eric watched in awe as a stampede, or whatever the hell you call a group of chickens, waddled across the floor. The garage was a mess. His parents tended to hoard everything and stuff it in here, but fucking chickens? Eric blinked and rubbed at his eyes, shaking his head, but when he looked again, there they were. One of them had paused, pecking at the waffle cone he'd discarded. Oi, dick! Whoever you are, you better come out right now and stop messing with me. This shit isn't funny. The right wall of the garage exploded. Old, discarded hats, mismatched shoes, and other miscellaneous mishmash went flying everywhere. One box smacked directly into his face, sending the teenager straight to the floor in a rain of old ping pong balls. He hit the ground hard, groaning loudly as they bounced around his head. What the hell? He opened his eyes just in time to see another box tilt over on the shelves above him. Oh God, no, was all he could say before the carton of pre-mixed Bisquick pancake batter poured out, covering his face and chest in the artificial mix that for some horrific reason his father kept in the garage because, quote, we might need it someday. Covered in batter, distraught and frustrated, Eric scrambled to his feet and wiped his face. Vision cleared, he came face to face with the cause of the disruption. A massive bull stamped its hooves a few feet away, its dark eyes leveled on him, sharp horns uncomfortably close to his soft, vital organs. Come now, lad, there's no time to waste. A man stumbled out from behind the mess of overturned boxes, patting the massive bull on the shoulder. He was dressed head to toe in an elaborate-looking outfit that looked like he belonged at a Ren fair. Who the fuck are you? Whom am I? What an odd question. The better question is, why are you? He walked over to the teenager and flicked a gloved finger through the batter on his shoulder and sniffed it. Trying to become a pancake. What? We shan't waste any more time. Get on, boy. Get on? What are you talking about? The man rolled his eyes and looked away. This silly child, doesn't he know we only have so many words to spare? There's no time for proper plot development or resolution. With that, he grabbed hold of the stunned teenager and yanked him onto the back of the bull. We ride to dawn. Holy fuck. Cutting it to just 500 words was a lot more difficult than I expected. And honestly, I'm not happy with the story. It feels like the opening to a story, not the conclusion or anything like that. There's no long plot development or anything like that. It feels off. And so I realized that I really need to work on some of that, to work on the ability to condense that structure, the plot structure, into smaller spaces, which I think is why some of these are so helpful. They allow you to kind of test yourself, to find where your weaknesses are, and for me, that's getting to the resolution in a timely manner. It helps me find the things that I could cut out. When I originally wrote this prompt out, I was already at about 700 words and it still didn't feel like it was resolved. I had to cut way back and just kind of give in to not being able to resolve it this time. I think it helps to see where you can cut, what's unnecessary, and kind of move on from there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of comical little experience here. If you haven't used Jazza's Arty game apps to kind of come up with these really kind of off the wall sort of prompts, I think it's a great little tool that you can really enjoy and have some fun with. After all, it works for me. I have a lot more fun with it than I ever thought I would, and it's a very cheap purchase. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.